Welcome back. This is chapter 8, the advent of Vyasa. Again and again, Satyavati tried to remonstrate with Bhishma, but he stood firm like a rock, unaffected by the waves dashing against it. He would not be moved. Satyavati was a picture of woe. Bhishma was sorry for her in her unhappiness. Taking pity on her, he said, "Mother, since an heir means so much to you, I have a suggestion. They say that a noble line, when it threatens to be extinguished, can be revived by a son born of a noble Brahmin. When my guru, Bhargava, destroyed all the Kshatriyas, this was how many of the royal lines were made to continue. If you can think of a worthy Brahmin, we can request him to give an heir to the throne. It has been done before. This is a custom which has won the approval of the great rishis." Poor Satyavati had to reconcile herself to this. She was displeased with Bhishma, since a true descendant of the Kuru house was no longer possible. Satyavati, after a lot of hesitation, told Bhishma about something which had happened long ago. How before her marriage with Shantanu, she had borne a child to Parashara, the great rishi. The son was Vyasa. She said that she would summon him. Bhishma agreed to her proposal. Satyavati thought of her firstborn. Vyasa hastened to her presence. She welcomed him and told him everything. He said, "You are my mother, the woman who gave me life. I will do anything which you command me to do." He thought for a while and said, "I am quite willing to grant you your heart's desire. I will try and please you. I will take the wives of Vichitravirya. But it is up to you to make them welcome me. They must not be scared by my appearance and my dark complexion." Satyavati agreed to talk to the girls. She went to Ambika and told her all about the circumstances, that it was her duty to get a child for the sake of the great Kuru house, that she had to welcome the rishi in a proper manner. Ambika agreed to do what was told. She had no other option. It was a dark night. Ambika was in her chamber waiting for the coming of the sage Vyasa. She saw him. So forbidding and terrible was the appearance of the sage that the poor girl was overcome with horror and loathing for this awful-looking man. But she had to go through the dreadful night. She closed her eyes tight and would not respond to the advances of Vyasa. The night of torture came to an end. Satyavati was waiting anxiously for the coming of Vyasa. He told her that a strong, powerful son would be born to Ambika. But since she closed her eyes throughout the night, afraid to look at him, the child would be born blind. Satyavati was greatly disappointed. She was wild with her daughter-in-law, but it was not of any use to look back at something which had already happened. So she requested Vyasa to give a son to the other girl, Ambalika. Vyasa agreed to it. Ambalika was equally frightened of the rishi. Her blood ran cold at the sight of him. Her body became pale with fright and loathing. The night passed. In the morning, Vyasa told Satyavati that this woman would get a handsome and gentle-natured child. But he added, he would be as white as his mother was when he was being put into her womb. Poor Satyavati did not know what to do. "My son," she said, the girls have been foolish. Please forgive them for my sake. After her son is born, you must visit Ambika once again. I will chide her in the meantime. You must do something. You must do this for my sake." So be it, said Vyasa, and left Hastinapura. In due course, the two children were born. One was blind and one was white. They were named Dhritarashtra and Pandu. The names were suggested by Vyasa himself. Satyavati thought that the time had come when Vyasa should revisit Ambika. She took her daughter-in-law to task for her previous mistake and told her that it was this which led to her child being born blind. Ambika was told that the rishi would be coming again to her that night. Ambika could not think of Vyasa without horror. She made up her mind that she would send her maid to the rishi in the night. Vyasa met the maid. She was so very attentive to every wish of his that Vyasa was immensely pleased with her. In the morning, he told Satyavati that a wise and good son would be born, that he would be the incarnation of the Lord of Dharma. Satyavati's joy was great. But, said Vyasa, the mother of this child will not be your daughter-in-law. She sent her maid to me last night, and it is the good fortune of this servant maid to bear the best of my children. I did try my best to help you, but it has not turned out to be a success after all. As for me, please do not ask any more favors of me. For a man who has turned his face away from all the ties of this earth, it is not right to take a woman more than 3 times. I agreed to you since you are my mother, and you commanded me. Please, do not summon me again. With these parting words, the great Vyasa went away to the snowy peaks of the Himalayas to resume his penance. With that, we come to the end of chapter 8. More on the story of Vyasa and his line in the next chapter. The reading of Mahabharata by Kamala Subramaniam continues on Storytime with Rajesh. Take care, and I'll see you next time.